Hello, I'm Vera Leier from the German program, and I can't be here today because I'm overseas, but I wanted to talk to you about the experiences in my German 151 distance course. I've been running this course for the last 3 years. It's the same, not at the same time, but together with my on-campus course. So you could either enroll as a distance student or as a on-campus students in the German 151 course. And if students seem to have a problem with attending class, they can also switch to the distant course. The other thing about this distant course is distance students often they come from the North Island, Auckland, Tauranga. I have also one from Southland, from a farm near Plough. But there are also the STAR students, which count as distance students for me. I don't take them separately. There's secondary school students who do it by distance. When I had, the most students I had was last year, was 11. This year I have 7. And my aim is to keep them happy and that they continue with the second semester 152 and that they feel comfortable and part of my on-campus class. I'll just show you how I try to achieve this. Yes, I want to remind you that teaching languages by distance is maybe different to other subjects because I have to focus on 4 skills and try to teach them alike. So the skills are speaking, listening, reading and writing. And you need to assess these skills as well appropriately. My main place where I keep my information for this course is my Learn sites, and I just run you briefly through the Learn site, how I set it up, easily accessible for the students. So this is an example of 1 week of my Learn site. So I try to make this Learn site this every week very consistent, very clear, so that the students don't have confusion and don't need to ask me questions. So every week is a little introduction in the top, which I just show you here. It is week 5, so I mix it already, target language and English. In the first week, I obviously only say the instruction for the week in English. And in the last week, week 12, I will have this instruction for the week in German only. I follow it by a video, which is every week the same, not the same topic, but the video is 3 minutes long, and it's me as an instructor together with another German speaker, just talking usually in the coffee place on a general topic that the students get used to my voice. So that is related to the listening skills, that the students get more confidence. This is Arbeitsmaterial, the weekly learning material is coming from the textbook we are using. We're using the textbook Kontakte. And the second part of my Learn site, this is all one side, this is week 5, is the lesson plans, which are the same for the on-campus and distance students. The lesson plans are exactly what I teach in class, with the exercises, but the exercises all have the answers as well, that the students can work in their own time as well. The last part of each Learn week is the information about the assessment. So the student needs to be very clear what assessment is every week and needs to have that spelled out again with a date, etc. And the assessment material loaded on the Learn site. So the Learn site, the learning management system is very good because you can keep everything on one spot. The assessment to this course, as I said, you need to try to assess all the skills similarly and don't neglect one. So the reading I assess by giving the students material to read, and they have to answer it in weekly homework sheets. So the students have 10 homework sheets, and these homework sheets are set up that they have one part listening, one part reading, one part they have to write a little essay, and they have to, not every time but every second time, send me a little sound recording, or they have a little speaking assessment. The homework sheets are the same format like the quizzes, which are only happening 5 times, and the written test, which is happening twice a semester. It's important, I find, that it's very consistent. It's always good to be consistent in assessment because students are nervous and it's new to them, it's the first year. But with distant students you need to be even more consistent, I find, because the communication often lacks. They don't see you 4 times a week. Going back to the reading, I give them a bigger reading task over the holidays. I give them a holiday reading, which is a little book, which might be too difficult for them, but it's the idea, going back to Krashen input theory, that when you have a beginner class, you should give them lots of input which they have to take on board. So giving them the reading will be assessed in the homework sheets by just English questions they have to answer in English, just to show that they comprehend what they were reading. The speaking, as I said, is occasionally assessed by little audio or video files the students send to me, little tasks related with the worksheets. There is one official oral exam in the end of the semester, and they have to make their own video recording or audio recording, or they can do it in my weekly Skype session. The listening component again is audio or video files on my distant button. I've got a special distant button on Learn where I store special information for the students. There is their listening tasks which go with their worksheets. I just talk about my weekly sessions. So the course, as you saw it, is archived, is based on Learn, but I have a weekly Zoom session which happens on Wednesday night or Thursday night. It's discussed by the students what they like. If they can't attend this weekly session, I use Zoom in the moment, which I like. It's easy to use. You can record it easily. I record it and I put it on Learn under webinars, and the students can watch it in their own time. I also have all my lectures I have for the on-campus students on Echo 360, which the students also can access on Learn, on their Learn site. Advantages of distance delivery. I already mentioned quite a few things. So I mentioned the archiving method through Learn. You have all material on one spot. Students don't really need to take notes if they don't want to. They can have it on their lesson plans. They have it all in their Echo 360 format, in their webinars. They can easily access information. I find that big advantage of a distance course is actually more interaction between instructor and student. It doesn't sound like it first, but you have a very intense relationship with your students when you have a Skype or Zoom or Adobe Connect session with your student. It's face to face. Zoom is very good because the student's face is popping up when students talk to you and the other students are on the side, so you're very involved. The social presence can build up quite strongly. You can learn in your own time, anytime and anywhere. It's an advantage. Students can be wherever, they can travel. I have one student, he's studying in Denmark. He's a student from here, so he took his course with him and he connects with us. So he's flexible and it's accessible. Disadvantages, of course, there are. Students may feel isolated from classmates or instructors, and I show you on my next and last slide what I do about that, because it is my research field is actually social media and Facebook, so I found a way where I can incorporate the students so that they feel more comfortable, more part of the class. Yes, a slow internet connection is actually a bit of a disadvantage. Like I just mentioned, people feel, the distance students actually go away and they feel quite independent. But sometimes they go, one student the other week went away to Northland on a holiday and took his cell phone with him, yeah, of course, and wanted to connect with us, and it disturbed our Zoom sessions because the connection wasn't good enough. So we had to ask him to turn it off because it can interfere with our class as well. Sometimes I had this problem with digital divides, that some students are not as confident as others with using technology, but I guess it's always a problem. You miss out on non-verbal communication, students do, but I find if you have this weekly Zoom session, you've got your face and part of your body which can interact, which helps a lot as soon as you can see the person. This is my last slide, just a few recommendations for my colleagues. It's important that you are as personal as possible as an instructor. And I jump to the last part, like I use Facebook as a connector between my on-campus class and my distance students. And I make little videos with my on-campus class every week or every second week, just very short 2-minute videos. I have to just say something briefly, or a few students present something briefly and wave at the distance students. I set it on Facebook. They have to introduce each other on Facebook. So Facebook is my little sort of social clue I'm using. And I was quite shy if I'm, as an instructor, actually have the right to be there too, but the students in questionnaires answered me that they would really like me to be part of this presence, this particular platform, and so the students really like to have the teacher on board. It's good to encourage group work if you can among the distant students, that there is a stronger group feeling happening, so you can send them off and ask them to get together and prepare a little talk so they can technically do that. The very good thing is you can combine synchronous and asynchronous work for distance students, and you should make use of it, like using the Skype or Zoom sessions, but also give other student learner types other work to do in their own time. What I found very important, and again I researched it and got the feedback back, it's very important to give the student constant feedback and immediate feedback. The student wants to immediately know what you think about these questions, or if there's a problem arising, you need to tell the student what to do. This is it for me today. Thank you.